Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever you want to call it. This is Final Fantasy Randomizer Action 2020 Co-op Tournament. You all here to watch four racers, two on each side, going to take part in the first round of the playoffs or the matches, if you want to call it. My name is Dang Wu, the first part, and my commentary partner, Danny3883. The wheels to my woo. How you doing, Danny?
I'm doing pretty good, Dang. I'm really excited for this race. They did game one the other day in this series, and it was a really close race. These teams are really good. I'm excited to see how this one plays out. Will will Team Gilgamesh take the series tonight with 2-0, or will Trash Island Bake Sale come back and win tonight and force a game 3 tomorrow? It's going to be it's going to be a fun one. I'm looking forward to this race.
You're right, and we unfortunately were not able to broadcast the first game. Gilgamesh was able to take that one, but I was able to do some pre-game interviews with our runners. The Gilgamesh, after winning game one, essentially said we need to keep our consistency. We need to prevent multiple wipes in the same dungeon and keep it calm, and they think by doing that they're going to be able to win this set, or this match if you want to call it. Trash Island Bake Sale, on the other hand, says, well, Fizzle's going to try and polish off a half rack of ribs while running, and Duchess for Kaiosama says we're going to be ballin' and shot callin', so expect a lot of fun here today.
Yeah, I'm sure no matter what happens today, there's definitely going to be a lot of fun had.
So we start off, Fire 2 Black Magic, Warp, reroll. This is too easy. Warp early with a clear spell? Where's my cake?
Hey, if you don't like what's there, you only got yourself to blame. You rolled this, And
I even gave him a cloth 1? That's ridiculous armor already. Alright, so for anybody that, I guess, Danny, we should kind of explain exactly what the co-op is. We share key items, and Canaria Castle is Topher, or Temple of Fiends, so that's going to be easy to get into the end game. Right there, we don't have to look for it. But essentially, in co-op, we share the key items, which includes loot, slab, the slab translation, the tail, all that kind of stuff. So you'll see it here when they talk to an NPC that gives them an item, or they find one in a chest. They're going to wait anywhere between 1 and, say, 7 seconds. And what it does is that key item will be transferred over to a server, and then from that server it goes over to your partner. Once it gets to your partner, it is essentially saved, and you will always have that key item.
Things that aren't saved, though, are in our co-op flags this year. It is Shard Hunt, which means instead of fighting the 4 fiends that you would normally fight, and those would be in a typical, normal co-op, would be shared. We don't have that this year. With Shard Hunt, each person in these flags, you need 28 shards, which you will find in treasure chest, and in co-op those aren't shared, so each person will have to find their own shards. Granted, they are able to communicate, they can tell each other where they are, which is great, and it's, part of that teamwork and the communication you have to have. But, yep, those you're doing all on your own this year.
Poor Duchess there, the Gur Wolves are wiping him out there, so he's trying to get these free Topher chests, or quote, free Topher chests. But Topher chests, or the Topher enemies just don't want anything to do with that. Fizzle's able to make it through. We found a shard there. So we're also going to keep track of the shard counts for you. Obviously, our runners are going to be menuing very quickly, but above or below the pronoun box, we're going to try and keep the shard count for you, the viewers, to have easy access, or to easily view how many shards and how close the race is. And I guess we kind of should talk about that, Danny, as a Great Axe +5. With this blurst thing, I mean, that Great Axe becomes a very good weapon here. We got floater with max price, perfect, but it's co-op. And money doesn't really mean much in co-op because we can buy it, wait until it gets transferred, and then reset out, and we get that 65 grand back.
Yeah, it's a good way to get especially vendor items early because if you, I mean, granted, max price, that's a little hard at the beginning of the game, but like you said, if you have the money when you have a vendor, you can easily save beforehand, buy the vendor, wait for your partner to get what you bought, and then quickly reset out. You both have the vendor item and you get your money back, which is really good, especially if you're able to do it early game because in the earliest part of the game, money is super important and not always easy to come by.
And as you see right there, Lord Fizzlebeef found the TNT. You can see the Beeble buff was able to transfer the TNT over to the Duchess for Chaos Ammo, so now that TNT is now saved in the server. Both runners will always have the TNT. Once they find Narix, they'll be able to turn in that TNT there. Dragon armor +4 with metal. Oh gosh, metal slimes. In my run, they had nuke. Thankfully, it looks like they don't have it this time. So lucky them. And this is a great spike tile to find early. We'll be able to do this if they don't roll too bad, which looks like 2 fired 2s and they're going down. So. And as Thundercloud points out, it is a good source of money too. We do need to get that 65,000 to get the floater, but we do need the canoe to actually get to the floater, or the airship. So we got early Crescent is Old Temple of Fiends, if I'm reading this correctly. Alright, so Danny, you guys are the Crescent Lake party planners. You guys apparently have been giving the sages TNT. What kind of game plan do you two usually have as an early game? You know, because for research purposes and to help out all of our fans out there.
Usually it's a lot of divide and conquer. I think a lot of times finding just towns and kind of maybe key items, things like that early are important. I don't think it's too important to start, diving dungeons too early, especially like if you don't have levels, you can't get through places because you're just going to continuously wipe if you don't have like the levels of magic to get through them. So, and I noticed with a lot of teams, it's kind of the way it is. It's I see a lot of that divide and conquer strategy. So, I don't think I'm giving away too much by saying it.
Oh, come on. Look, I'm just saying is somebody's got to end that undefeated streak. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to get...
I'm sure someone will this year. There are some very good teams this year, so...
And speaking of that, oh no, our Sehags have Cremate. That's going to wipe out Duchess there in this treacherous seafloor here. The TFC seafloor. Lord Fizzlebeef is trying to get some good turn order on these metal slimes for experience, which I like this play. It's good money, which was already pointed out. And it allows us to, get those early levels that we need for survival.
Duchess finding a ribbon on that sea floor, which are always good to find at any point in the game, but definitely, there at the beginning and help you survive a lot.
So this early ordeals, it's not bad actually if we can make it through, but the problem is Duchess is doing this essentially at level 1, level 2, maybe 3 tops with his run or with his characters, and all he's got is a fire 2. So very, very ambitious of him. I mean, I like the aggressiveness. He's chilling. He's, you know, he's trying to get it done, but I have to admit, I think it's going to be a little rough for him to do right now.
Yeah, I think with maybe a few more, like if he could get a couple levels first, it definitely is potentially something he could get done. I think trying it with just at such a low level with very limited levels of magic, yeah, it's something that's, like I said, I like the choice he made to kind of go elsewhere and explore.
Yeah, and ooh, a pure helmet. All right, we won't be hearing the poison sound effects for a while, right? Oh wait, we can only cast it in combat. Darn. So, to answer your question, essentially all the key items, loot, key, chime, cube, you know, all that stuff is shared, along with fiend or orb. Orbs are counted after, you know, lighting the orbs. But in this case, we're doing shards, so shards are not shared. And it takes anywhere between 1 to 7 seconds where the... Ooh, there's a ribbon. Hello, ribbon.
That's our second ribbon already.
I mean...
all on seafloors.
Right? Level 3 zap, level 3 ice 2, and fast. So, not bad magic at all. Zap kills a lot of enemies since that is a time element kill spell. So, that's not too bad at all. It'd be interesting to see what the white magic is in level 3, and then we also have level 4 and level 4 magic there also, so let's see what we get. White magic. Wall, that's a very important. That gives us resistance to all elements for the battle duration.
Unfortunately for at least Fizzle, if you're not got a white mage, you're not getting wall today, unfortunately, but it is definitely a good spell to have.
Speed and power. While eating a rack of ribs.
Yep. Also, 10 minutes in and level 14 on Fizzle's side, which is not... that's pretty darn impressive.
I was just going to say, okay, so we got level 4 nuke in black magic. And how upset do you think Lord Fizzlebeef is? After grinding those slimes, he finds a fire 3 sword in the Agama room, or in the Agama floors.
I mean, it's a little ill-timed, but, I mean, if he wants to, at the very least, if he wants to do more, he'll have it there for the next time. He also found a Vorpal, I think it was a -2 though, so can be used as your in-game weapon. It's a little more cursed than blessed today, but still usable.
And for sure, and as you see here, it's a little slow right now for everybody. That's because of the randomizer itself. We only had Fire 2 to start. Team Gilgamesh has found Elflin and found level 4 nuke. The downside is those mages, especially the black mages, have to reach level 8 before they can cast it. Red mages have to wait until level 10 before casting it. So the hard part is we got to get to those levels to be casting it. For Lord Fizzlebeef, however, he's already at those levels because he's been killing... Actually, wait. Yeah, he's already been killing the slime. So his casters are huge, and that, you know, he's good to go.
Yeah, DV has to just stepped in there a little bit and saw kind of what was going on there. But that Agama floor, it's got all kinds of goodness. It's got a grind tile. It's got dragon plus 4 armor. There's a Vorpal in there. There's a fire 3 sword. There was at least 1 shard. It was herbing all kinds of goodies.
And, you know, I want to point out something that's interesting here. So for everybody that's out here that's watching the top left here, Lord Fizzlebeef, what he's doing is he's grinding his casters, which I think is actually really good in this case because the casters kind of basically carry you through the early game and most of the mid game. And you only really need that fighter to A, take shots, and B, to essentially melee any of the fiends we need. So we need those spell charges. We need to be able to keep them alive if we get ambushed by something nasty. So I kind of like this. And then you can always come back and do a solo grind on that fighter with that Fire 3 sword.
That just made his way to Elf London. Demon? I'm not there. Okay. For a minute, I thought maybe he froze. I dipped into Marsh. I believe the only place that was there was actually Marsh Top. And I saw him get a shard there, but I didn't see anything else. So he grabbed that and he's on his way out.
I don't... Okay, so... Oh, Fizzle... did he save before buying that floater?
I'm gonna assume that he saved somewhere before he bought it.
Okay, so this is what
now not only see he's got those levels, and then now that grind bunny incoming floater.
Yep, there's the floater. He's waiting for Duchess to confirm that he's got it. Now you'll see Lord Fizzlebeef reset out. Now he's got that 65 grand right back in his pocket again. So that's one of the earliest and easiest examples to kind of tell you what we mean by we're sharing the key items. Once it's shared, you never lose it. Now there are some things to point out, like both people have to defeat the Garland to be able to talk to the princess. The princess save is not shared. Doing the herb turn-in to talk to the prince, the elf prince, is not shared.
Yeah, there's been a couple of times, and I'm sure as you played co-op quite a bit yourself, where your partner will do like the Garland kill and you won't, and then you get to the end game to do Topher, and then you go in, and you're like, oh, I forgot Garland's still here. Let me just defeat him and talk to Sarah real quick so I can beat the game.
He's the ultimate gatekeeper here. Right here, it looks like Demon RHK on Team Gilgamesh here is gonna get outside the first team to leave the inner sea. They've done a lot of exploring compared to Team Trash Island Bake Sale. Oh wait, no, Trash Island Bake Sale has left. I just realized that the Duchess has already gone to the southern side by Elfland, so I apologize for that. So Gilgamesh is gonna try and go to Old Crescent, and Duchess is... Oh. He can't actually turn in the floater. So that's what he was trying to do.
Yeah, it's what I thought. Because it looked like he got there, and then when he realized he still needed the canoe, he reset back.
Alright, so Danny, we're looking at our two teams here. Lord Fizzlebeef is probably in the most commanding spot right now, I think, out of all four runners. Obviously, it's a co-op. So Lord Fizzlebeef kind of has to get the Duchess caught up here. If you're Lord Fizzlebeef, what do you tell your partner right now? Do you tell him to do the metal slimes? Do you tell him to do more exploring? I mean, this is kind of a tough spot in a way because Lord Fizzlebeef is in such a good spot, but his partner's, you know, kind of stuck in a weird spot right now.
I definitely think some levels would probably help Duchess get through some of the places he's trying to go through. Yeah, other than that, a little help maybe exploring, but yeah, I definitely think some, like, getting some levels. He's got more magic that he can use, but like I said, you can't use unless he has levels. So yeah, he definitely, okay, he lost the ribbon, so I get going back for that, warping out and saving. That was smart. But yeah, definitely levels would help him get through a lot more of the game right now. Yeah, and then just continue afterwards, just checking places, you know, Fizzle hasn't. That way they're covering needed ground.
Okay. No, I have to agree with you on that one, Danny. It seems like a good play, or at least something to just kind of tell them, or to remind your partner is, hey, we got metal slimes, we got that fire too. Gain some levels, you'll be able to do your exploration a lot easier.
Yeah, like just even if it's just like it doesn't even have to be a ton of levels, but any levels you can get in early game are going to make getting through the early game much easier. It's going to make exploring easier. It's going to make diving into dungeons easier. It'll give you more, spell charges on your magic, which you're going to need. Especially if you're dungeon diving with like level 1 warp, you're going to want a large charges of that. So like which we all eventually get like a dungeon that's like 10 floors deep and you don't have to walk that out. So you're going to want to be able to warp out of that. And so yeah, levels are definitely very important.
And just to kind of reiterate, everything is incentive. If you've ever been on our website to know what's incentive, what's not incentive, all the fiend dungeons are incentive except for Sea Shrine, where the mermaids are, and Marsh Locked is not incentive. So everything except for those 2 locations are incentive. We have 3 dud locations. And yeah, so it's going to be interesting. So this Ordeals could have the canoe. Can DVS make it through with Fire 2? And I don't think he's got Nuke, because I believe it was a Demon RHK that made it to Elfland, but he's got to get through this spike tile, and it's arachnids. If this was a Danny Seed... Oh, they have Squint! Oh, joy! But we got away. So, I mean, he's not free yet because there's one more spike tile to get out, but with co-op, it doesn't matter because all you have to do is talk to the chest, wait 7 seconds. Oh, there's a Fade Stick by Lord Fizzlebeef. Oh my.
He's got the Fire 3 sword, a Fade Stick. Who needs magic shops when you're just finding it on items and boxes?
There's the bottle. We found Gaia, so that could be a turn-in. The fairy might have our progression. We know where Gaia is. So a pretty good exploration lead for Team Gilgamesh. Trash Island Bake Sale here probably needs to put down the ribs here and start getting a little exploring, but you know what? They got a Fade Stick and a Fire 3 sword, so they're looking pretty good too. I sense that they're going to catch up pretty quickly, and Ordeals is not going to slow Lord Fizzlebeef down if he ends up doing it.
Yeah, and DBS did this weird thing that, like, we were talking about. He got the bottle there, and he waited till his partner had it before stepping on that tile, because you never know what's there, and with low levels you could very easily get wiped. So as soon as he knew Demon RHK had that bottle, he stepped on the tile to see what it was, and it was a fighter mage tile, which, depending on how they rolled, could be a good place to get levels. But thankfully he got out of it and was able to walk out with any of the levels he had and things that he had gotten there. But waiting there was definitely smart for his partner to get it before he walked through.
No, and you're absolutely right, because I mean, you and I have been around in the FFR community for, at least a year or two. And we've seen it plenty of times in Ordeals where in a 1v1, the runner will try and exit out, or, try and walk it out instead of hitting the exit spell. And they get ambushed by something with, like, Thunder or Blaze, and they wipe out and they have to re-dive it again.
Yeah, that always feels real bad to get almost all the way out with your item, and then you just run into something really nasty that just wipes your whole party. You just gotta take that deep breath, calm yourself, and then do it all over again.
That's right.
And the bottle from turned in, and our fairy gave us the canoe.
Alright, so the only thing preventing Lord Fizzlebeef and Duchess Rakawa-sama we're getting in the air is that Ordeals play, which Duchess is at, but he doesn't have the levels to do it.
Yep. And Team Gilgamesh still short on money and have not gotten that floater yet. So we've got one team with the floater, one team with the canoe. And as soon as, one of the teams adds in that extra puzzle piece, then we'll have a team in the air.
I'm not gonna lie, Lord Pizzle Beef's fighter, I think, has been laying down this entire match, it feels like.
Hit keeps getting hit and taking a nap.
It has been napping for so long.
While Demon RHK over on the other side went to the original, I believe it was Ordeal's location, and I found who I think is probably your favorite Fiend Dang. He found Lich. Now we just need to find whatever level, Quake is at, and we're good to go.
For the question in chat, the plus minus for weapons on the beta site, it is plus 2 damage, plus 3 hit, and plus 1 crit per point, plus or minus. And then for armor, it's plus 1 absorb, or 1 absorb for every armor slot except for the chest slot, which is 2 per point. And then you also get an evasion point, or an evasion plus or minus. Cyrus, it's only on alpha that it is the crit rate of 3. On beta, it's 1.
TVS, find Matoya. Don't have our crystal yet, but with a little bit of money, which is always nice, and an Ice 5 sword. That is not shabby, especially early game.
An Ice 5, I'm pretty happy with that, and there's Duchess finally finding the metal slimes. An Ice 5, I mean, I've seen runners do an Ice 5 in normal, without the blurst, and they've used it. Obviously, it takes a lot of tempers and fast, to be good. But a plus 5, 10 extra damage, 5 extra crit, okay.
Can confirm, you can beat these co-op seeds with an Ice sword. I may have done a practice last week with an Ice 2 sword. Those fights took a little longer. Fiend fights and, Topher. I wasn't getting through them quickly, but you can get through them.
And for everybody out there, for everybody that's out there that is a Thief fan, look away. There was a katana minus 5.
Yeah, we've also saw a Sun Sword plus 3, which Fizzle found. And the TNT gives mint, and the blacksmith gives us the ruby, so we got a few turn-ins there in the dwarf cave. We're gonna say hi to the hooray dwarf, maybe? Nope, okay, smart thinking, because with NPC Guillotine on right now, we're on beta. Saying hi to the dwarf.
Look at that. Do you see that on Gilgamesh there? Instant ruby pickup, transfer, Gilgamesh already talking to the Titan. Talk about teamwork there. And where is this Titan trove going to go? Because Titan's east and west entrance is shuffled. Or the exit is. Or entrance, if you want to call it. So we can wind up in a double top or bottom Cardia. We can end up in Onrak, technically.
Yep, Titan wormholes are fun.
They really are.
You go in, you never know where you're gonna come out.
So, on the left-hand side, Trash Island Bake Sale, still trying to find the canoe. Duchess was in the area. It is Elflin that leads into Ordeals. Ordeals has the canoe. On the right-hand side, Gilgamesh just needs to earn 65,000 gil, or gold if you want to call it, to be able to purchase the floater.
Yeah, they haven't gotten that floater yet, but they sure are finding a whole lot of other locations where they are getting a lot of their incentivized items.
You're absolutely right, and that's Marsh incentive and a Canaria. Wow.
They're about to snag a few more of those items that they need. With the oxale from the king, the slab from Sarah, and here shortly we'll find out what is in the Martian incentivized from DVS.
And that's the slab. We can do the translation. We found Melmon, but we haven't found Lefane yet. So, kind of a bummer, but hey, we at least can get it done. And DVS is going to try and re-dive this Martian incentive. So, I mean, we know it's not going to hold our progression here. We've only found, what, one fiend, which was Lich.
Yep. So far, that's all we've seen.
We didn't really have any way to... I mean, we'd have Fire 2. I don't believe they've ever found the Fire 3 or the Fade Stick yet, so the Gilgamesh, unfortunately, doesn't have the offensive... Oh, no. We have Nuke.
Yeah, depending on the levels, if they had... Like, I know, Demon Founding, he didn't attempt it. He did reset back out to where he was up near, Elfland. I'm not sure if he just maybe didn't have the levels for... not sure if he had the levels for Nuke, because I believe that's level 4. So that might be why he just didn't feel comfortable with his levels and the magic he had. But yeah, definitely with, like, the magic that they do have, if they have the levels, just to have, you know, a couple of charges of it, Lich is definitely doable.
And... You know, Danny, I just realized that we never gave any credit to our awesome trackers back there as they point out that Lich's floor was in Ordeal's location, the old location. Yep. Shadowed Flames and Jay Scheidel are our trackers. So thank you to both of them for doing that. Danny, you are the resident mastermind behind the tracking, but, you know, these guys so far have done an awesome job.
Yeah, they're doing a great job so far. They're keeping it honest, making sure we know what we're talking about, because otherwise there's a good chance we wouldn't. Pushing, you know, taking the notes, pushing all the buttons. They're doing the hard work.
You are absolutely right.
Especially on these flags. Tracking these flags is not easy. Not at all. Even with 2 trackers, they can be very difficult. So big shout out and thank you to both of them for volunteering to help tonight.
Well, we got a lull in the action here because, well, we're waiting for Gilgamesh to be able to get through this Martian Center, which is being blocked by some heavy-hitting chimeras with paralyzing touch. So poor DVS is trying to make this dive, but he's getting punched out every single time. If we manage to go to Game 3, if Trash Island Bake Sale can win this match, we will have tomorrow at the same time Game 3, which will be right back here on RPG Limit Break.
Yep. Different day, but same time, same channel.
That's right.
We'll to Game 3.
And over... on Speed Gaming, we have Game 1, Clever Team Name versus Last Minute Chaos. That'll be over on Speed Gaming, so make sure to check that out. That's about half hour after the Game 3 start over there, so that's at 10 o'clock Eastern Time.
Yep, possible busy night of, you know, some FFR co-op tomorrow. Actually going to be a busy rest of the week. We've got races just about every day the rest of the week, with 3 on Friday, so we got a busy week ahead of the rest of the week.
I think at this point, Duchess really needs to talk to Fizzle and say, hey, clear out Ordeals, please, because... Oh, wait, he's there. It's almost like he... Nope. Fizzle, go back. Fizzle, go back.
We're wheeling you. Go. Well, it is, like, he hasn't been to Elfland, so yeah, I'm sure Duchess had relayed that information because he knows that Elfland is there, so... I mean, Fizzle does have that Fire 3, you know, sword and that Fade Stick, but I'm sure having, you know, some extra magic on those mages isn't, you know, will be nice.
You mean, like, being able to cast Nuke? Because I think he's the only one that can cast Nuke right now.
Quite possible. I mean, he had levels to cast level 4 magic at like 10 minutes in because he saw metal slimes and got real happy with that Fire 2. But he's also had nothing but Fire 2 and Warp as actual, you know, cast of magic the whole game so far. So I'm not surprised he just went straight for Elfland and just bypassed Ordeals. We just gotta hope that he's here soon goes back to Ordeals.
That steel armor plus 5 is actually really good. That gives us dragon armor-esque levels of absorb. Actually, yeah, almost dragon armor vanilla absorb. So, and that's equipable by the fighter. Our fighter becomes like a tank. No resistances and no evasion, but we can do it. Poor DVS is already on the bottom right-hand side. I think he's dove this place at least, 6, 7 times now, and the Chimeras have wiped him out every single time.
Yeah, Marsh is not being, is not being kind to our friend DVS this evening. At all. I mean, I admire his persistence.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming patience, because at this point I'd have been a little tilted.
Yeah, that's definitely a tilter right there. But, I had that pregame interview with them, and they said they were going to try to prevent multiple wipes in the same dungeon and keep calm. So he's probably calm, but he's not doing the prevent multiple wipes thing. Like, he keeps going and, he keeps doing that thing where he's rediving and rediving, which I understand because he's in a unique, spot. But without that fighter or that meat shield, I don't think you can actually get through those.
Yeah, I think he's had enough of Marsh for right now. And I don't blame him, like you said, especially early on, that's rough. Especially low levels can't get through, and just to wipe repeatedly in one specific area.
Yeah, and it's easy for me to say a lot of this stuff. You'll hear me, say something about a runner and stuff like that, and it's not anything against them or anything like that, because it's easier for me to say it because I'm the neutral party that's watching all the runners. I'm not the one that's in the race setting, so nothing against them. They're all amazing runners, but as a person that's in the off in the distance watching from the broadcast booth, I'm saying something based on, neutral emotions, I guess, if you want to call it.
Yeah, it's much different to watch someone play and, say how you would do it, as opposed to actually having to play it, because that's a whole nother experience to deal with.
And it looks like Duchess, is he back in Ordeals?
No, he is. Bizzle's made his way to Ordeals. I believe Duchess was in. Well,
I don't know, but
I think I saw, last I looked over, it looked like he was by Canaria.
Alright. Uh-oh, he's out of spells. He's up against a Gerwolf. Gets the run. Okay, he was in Ordeals. Okay. Or, I'm sorry, in Temple of Fiends, which was Old Canaria Castle. So the good news, Lord Fizzlebeef will be able to get progression for Team Trash Island Bake Sale. Well, was going to, decides to nope out of Ordeals. Fizzle, go back. You're...
There is a ribbon on that floor, so he might just be going in for the ribbon.
Ah, look at these two talking to each other like that, making sure that he got that ribbon first. Well played, Trash Island Bake Sale. That's right, Crab Cake. Synergy. So, I mean, I would have to say I give the exploration to Team Gilgamesh right now, but because maybe they forgot about the floater, accidentally, you kind of get into the habit of searching everywhere that you kind of forget about that key item that's in the shop. I feel like they kind of forgot about it, and then they're like, oh yeah, we need that floater now because there's no shards anywhere.
One of them saw it a minute ago. I want to say maybe it was Demon RHK. They were in the shop where it was, so I'm going to assume they've seen it, but anytime I've seen one of them in that shop with the floater, they haven't had the money. So I'm assuming they're, because Fizzle had the money early on because he took that, that metal slime grind in the first few minutes of the game, so he had a lot of money to throw around super early and was able to afford that floater. But with Gilgamesh, they've done a lot of exploration, but they haven't really found enough money yet to afford it. So they haven't been able to purchase it. With Demon doing the metal slime grind himself, he very likely, I'm sure, is probably doing it for levels, but may also be doing it so that he has money. And if there's a rate he keeps it up, he will most definitely have floater money too. And then they'll be in the air.
And I mean, it's going to help out Demon Archcade too, because he's got the nuke compared to Fire 2 and Fire 3. Obviously, slimes are weak to Fire 2 and Fire 3, but nuke is just way more accurate and hits harder in general. So it's going to high roll those slimes a lot more often.
Yeah, question in chat, where was the canoe? The ordeals was the bottle, and the bottle turn-in was the canoe.
Yeah, so it was definitely a case of both runners had one piece of both, but in this case, Demon RHK does the metal slimes, gets the floater, waits for his teammate DVS to get the indicator saying that he's got the floater. Then you'll see Demon RHK reset out, get his 65k money, and Team Gilgamesh will be in the air. There it is. Demon RHK has got the floater, the instant reset, and our first team to get into the air is probably in the next, 2 minutes, 3 minutes at most?
Yeah, it all depends on where their location is for each of them, but neither are too far away. So yeah, they'll be flying around the world in no time.
So as soon as Lord Fizzlebeef can go to the old Elflin city location, that is where Ordeals is, and complete it, they will get the canoe and they will be able to get into the air. It's just a matter of Lord Fizzlebeef getting over to that Ordeals and finishing it. And I think he's about to go do it now after getting his ribbon and a couple other things he was doing. There it is. He's going in. Oh, Zelfin Castle. Sorry. But we're 40 minutes in, Danny. My name is Dang Woo. She is Danny. We are Team Woo and Wheels commentary duo. You are watching the 2020 the co-op tournament. Wow, I'm in the mood for spring tournament already. That was a while ago.
It was, but it was a long one, so we were there so long it kind of feels like we still are. The confusion is very understandable.
You're so right, but we're here with Jay Scheidel and Shadow Flames helping us out in the back end, pushing the 1s and 2s and all those buttons to make it look great for you all. If you look above and below the pronoun boxes, you'll see those little numbers. Lord Fizzlebeef with 6, Demon RHK with 4, Duchess with 3, DVS with 6. Those are their shard counts. In this one, they have to get 28 shards. Once you get 28 shards, you will be able to talk to that black orb that allows you to go 2,000 years in the past to take on Chaos. Obviously, you need the loot and the key. Those are the required key items that you have to defeat Chaos. You cannot actually take on Chaos without those key items, the loot and the key.
Yep, as soon as you have those shards, you have that loot and key. Basically, all you need is whatever gear you need to get to the end of the game and levels, and then it's time to storm Topher.
And looky there, the quick play from Team Gilgamesh gets in the air. Instantly goes the Gaia. That is Skyfloor 2. That is incentive. So we're going to get another incentive item from them. Obviously, we haven't found the key or loot. So what do we got? There's the key. That's required. Why is that required? Well, ironically, in Temple of Fiends Revisited, only in the randomizer we found out that you have to have the key. Once you get past the loot block, that room is actually locked by the Mystic Key. So the key is required to actually complete the game.
It sure is.
There's...
And,
go ahead.
Yep, Trash Island Bake Sale has gotten their bottle, and as soon as they take that quick trip to Gaia and turn that in for their canoe, they'll be headed to get their airship too, and then we'll have both teams in the air flying around the world. Gilgamesh, now that they have the key, has checked the Canary Locked, which is one of our incentivized locations this week, and have gotten their cube.
Wow. Gilgamesh is just on, yeah, as pointed out, they're on fire right now, picking up a lot of key items here. I mean, they've, found Sarda. They got an Opal +3 bracelet, so one of their mages is going to be looking pretty good. I'd probably put it on that white mage. And Duchess is going to turn in the bottle. Lord Fizzlebeef is just chilling because he knows this has got to be the floater at this point. I'm surprised he's not at the desert already. There's the canoe. Trash Island Bake Sale is going to be airborne in about 1 to 2 minutes. And there's a nuke shirt in Skyfloor 2, right-hand side, middle room. Oh my.
Dan, can you do me a favor and roll our next seed, please? And thank you.
That's a nuke shirt, folks. We don't know if that's white or a black shirt. So we can equip that on one of our mages there, and they're going to be looking pretty good for armor, too. Wow. Okay, so we've got the highest hitting non-elemental magic item, nuke, and the second highest non-elemental, or well, non-elemental spell, I guess you want to call it, and fade, that we can cast indefinitely.
Right?
Or infinitely, not indefinitely. Infinitely. So
it's all the nuke and fake cash your little heart could dream of.
Right?
Like I said, when I get my matches scheduled next week for week 2, spoilers, but I'm gonna need you to be free and around to roll the seed, please and thank you.
I mean,
I wouldn't mind having those.
Now, to be fair for everybody out there, look, I evened it out. A Masa -5. Okay, I at least evened out the end game, and it took them 44 minutes to actually get a nuke shirt. Okay, come on.
Okay, I mean, I guess that makes it a little better, but it's still a nuke shirt.
Look at DVS. He's like, nuke shirt? Yeah, let me join in the same dungeon with you real quick, Demon. I want that nuke shirt.
Like, that might be worth just a quick detour. We'll snag that up real quick.
Hey, that's Lefane. We've done the slab translation.
Which means nobody's getting looped today.
Crystal, we found Matoya already, so even more key incentives we can, or key turn-ins, I guess if you want to call it. And we're going to check level 8 magic. Oh, life 2. That white wizard can learn it at level 25. Ice 3 not nearly as important. Was there a temper axe too? Crabcake saying we found a temper axe out there also. Oh my. Look, I just like... Oh, it's the hairpin chest? Okay. Well, see, look, I like to give us, our fans out there a show. This is going to be all about execution tonight.
Who needs actual magic when you can just just sling items at them? We're just throwing nuke shirts and temper axes and fade sticks and...
Now, I want to let people know that generally I do give people free items like this. But then they get into Topher, and it's generally the Great Equalizer. Generally. Or it's the Ice Cave that turns really nasty. Generally.
We've had a Hooray Dwarf execution. Sorry, Hooray Dwarf. Thankfully, you'll be back next trip.
Look away, Danny. Look away. The inhumanity.
I know. Can't. Breaks my little heart. Yeah, we found... Fizzle keeps just finding, the item locations. He's found shards there at, Sea Left on Armor. He found the Maza there. He found the Excal -1. He found the Temper Axe. There was a lot of good... a lot of stuff on that armory floor.
So we found Provoca. Top right. Bottom left, if you noticed... Duchess hasn't defeated Garland and talked to the princess. So when he went to Canaria Castle and talked to the king, there was no princess there. Lord Fizzlebeef had talked to Garland and beat Garland and talked to the princess, so he's the only one who can actually talk to the princess and receive a reward. So that's the reason why it's important to defeat Garland and talk to the princess on both teams, or both players on that team, because in this case, Duchess is missing out on a key item that their team could have received.
Yeah. Oh, eyes with poison. That's not very nice. Normally, you're pretty happy to see those, but less cheerful when, you know, they have poison.
I don't want to make it too easy on them to get experience. Come on. I want something to fight back. But speaking of fighting back, Duchess is going to try and make it through the Marsh incentive. Can he get through those nasty, nasty chimeras that gave it DVS the business earlier? Basically forced DVS to run away. Why are they so dangerous? Well, they've got 4 hits, and they've got paralyzing touch, and it seemed like they had high initiative, which means they ambushed our light warriors quite often.
You got DBS not far behind Fizzle in the T-split there.
No, but you can see the shard counts on Lord Fizzlebeef right now. He's already at 14. He's in midway in the teens already.
Yeah, his shard count, he's already halfway to the needed 28, so...
And he hasn't even seen Lich. He hasn't seen Kraken or Tia. For everybody out there, the War Mech is required. Those bad men have over like 350 HP, so they are literally bad men. War Mech is required, which means that there is a robot sprite that is hanging out in front of Tiamat's room on the Bridge of Destiny. You have to talk to it. He will give you like a little one-liner, and then you have to fight it.
And unfortunately, he's not always friendly as he may look.
There's the Chimeras punching hard. Luckily, the fighter was able to resist the paralyzed touch. Goes down. Can heal do it? No. Chimeras, even with mid-teen light warriors, ambush and still destroy them. Wow. This Marsh incentive, if it is the loot, could be huge.
Yeah.
And I believe we also, I can't remember, in these flags, is it Astos been shuffled?
Not that I recall.
Okay.
I mean, my memory is pretty bad, but I'm pretty sure it's always Astos when I've showed up, so.
Okay. I was kind of hoping it's shuffled because that's always a fun one to tell people.
Yeah.
I mean, I should know this considering I just did 2 races, but for some reason I really wanted to, like, announce to people it was that. And we got the procedurally generated waterfall. One of our developers, Leggy Starscream, created this. It's no longer the original waterfall route. Oh, no, no, no. It is procedurally generated, random every single time. It could be right next to the entrance. It could be in a maze that will confuse you. And so far, Lord Fizzlebeef is 0 for 1 on the direction of where it could be.
Yeah, it's looking like one of those possible waterfalls that confuse you, because...
And poor Duchess, I just wiped out again. Here we go. Monster Strike. There's only 3. We got a chance. Oh, their fighter goes 1 shot. Red gets out. Okay, we're going to try and nuke our way through. Chimeras generally roll high HP every time I try and take them on. Oh, bad turn order here. Destroys nuke that black mage in the 4th slot. That fighter down really hurts the mages. The reason behind it is the first slot gets targeted 50% of the time. Second slot gets targeted 25%, and the 3rd and 4th slot gets targeted 12.5%. So what does that mean? Well, with the targeting of the enemies that if an light warrior is gone in that top slot, it re-rolls the target every single time. So if there's no light warrior there, and see, once again, he's got to run away. Duchess has got to run away from the ever so nasty Chimera.
Yes, and while unfortunately for Duchess was having trouble getting that marsh incentive, Fizzle finally found his way through and got to the robot and got the herb in C-split left, and then had to book it back to C-split right to where the Elfland Castle was to get his 137 gold from the prince.
Hooray! And
I mean,
hooray! Opal -5 armor in the Frosty Chest and Ice Cave. And what was it that was in the incentive and Ice Cave? I missed it.
It was the crown. Demon got it right after Fizzle got the herb.
Okay. So we got the crown turned in, and we're obviously looking for the loot. If Gilgamesh needs the loot, they will be in no mode, if you want to call it. We call it, ooh, iron goals. Hello. Resists most or all melee weapons, have ridiculously high resistances to melee weapons. Thankfully, they have no resistances to lightning, and non-elemental spells like Nuke and Fade do really well against them.
Yeah.
And they're worth a lot of experience, so if you can get away with it, they're well worth the grind. So we need the loot. We need to play that musical instrument to go back, or to make it into, or to complete the game. And Marsh Incentive hasn't been checked. We haven't found the rod-locked Earth Floor 3, where the vampire is. That's incentive. And we've got a couple turn-ins. Astos might have it. Who else haven't we checked yet? The Carrie's floor.
We had the crystal, and I know we know where Matoya is. Did we see the crystal turn in, though?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, so we got Matoya also. So there's...
Yeah, we had the crystal turn in still, the crown turn in still. One of those would lead to the rod, which would lead us to the earth incentive. And we're still looking for the tail. And I know we've seen at least one of our 3 dead incentives. So, may have been another one. If I missed it, I apologize. I know we did get the one from the prince.
Yep, and Jashadel pointing it out, right? Well, the Elf Prince was just checked. Lord Fizzlebeef did it, and he got money. But yeah, Matoya, Astos, Marsh. Marsh hasn't been done. Earth is about to get checked by the DVS.
Can't get past that rod lock to see what's past there, but we will be able to see what's in the earth incentive.
Although I say he'll get past it, but all he's got is a black mage and a white mage.
He's a few party members short today.
It seems like our runners have been running less than 4 members for some reason.
It's like the game keeps giving everybody a lot of things they want, but it's taking it out on party members. Something fierce.
It really was.
I've looked up and seen a lot of fighters just looking at the ground today.
And top right here, look at Demon RHK. He is making the dive down to take on Kraken. If you're able to defeat Kraken or Tiamat by lighting the orb or the altar, you get 4 shards. If you are able to defeat Lich or Carrie and light their orbs, you get 2 shards. And there's another, that's either got to be a black shirt or white shirt. It's just a lit, cast lit, but it's still really good because that's either going to give us resistance to fire and death element as a white shirt, or it's going to give us ice and time resistances. So at least we know we've got a white shirt and a black shirt.
And we've got our earth incentive, which was the tail.
Yeah, so Nice pick up there. We haven't found Bahamut yet, but Demon RHK is over in Cardia, so we'll have to see if Cardia Isle's got the Bahamut. That Aegis -5 shield. That hurts a little bit. Duchess has 4 shards, so he's trying to play catch up here. He's got a long ways to go here, but he's gonna need to start catching up here because
We have one player on each team that seems to have a bit of a shard lead, and then another one that is helping with exploration, but still is a little behind on shards. So, but the good thing about the way co-op works, you're working with your partner. For those who don't know, they are in voice chats together. So they are communicating, they're letting each other know what they found, where things are, where they can find things like equipment and shards. So whatever they find, they'll be able to say, hey, I found these shards here. So like, say Fizzle has all these shards that Duchess doesn't have, he's able to let Duchess know, hey, when you can, go here, get this place has this many shards, and so forth and so on, and then his partner's able to go get those.
Yep, we allow you to take notes for each other, no screenshots of, where the chests are, no sharing your video with your partner. It's all got to be by voice, just to kind of even the playing field, make it more about, teamwork and being able to take really good notes. Chimeras are in Mirage 2 here. Thankfully, we've got armor, so Demon RHK way better off compared to the DVS to take on the Chimeras and do that Marsh incentive, which I think would probably be a good thing to do right now, because if that's loot, I mean, all we need is 28 shards and we're going.
Yeah, I'm part of me is hoping it, like, I'm torn. Like, it's really hard to get out, but once you go back with the levels, a Saber 3 staff, that's not a shabby item to have in the greater than less than room. But like I was saying, it feels a little bad that an incentive that they're having so much trouble could be, the loot, and they're having trouble getting out. Thankfully, they don't need it towards end game. So if they is hard, they can always come back with levels later and get it, but it's gonna feel a little bad if they kept trying to get it and it ended up being one of our dud locations.
No, you make up a great point there. And here's Carrie's floor. This is incentive. This is the red D spike tile that Demon RHK is about to walk over. Life and Heal 3 is an on-rack level 7 magic. There's the cake. Your black mage can learn that. DVS, go back and get it. I'm telling you, the cake is good.
Make Dang happy.
There's the rod. We've already seen the rod lock room. Unfortunately for DVS, he already exited out of where the rod lock room was. So he's gonna have to redive there, possibly. And it looks like DVS is actually gonna go into the less than greater room there, because Demon RHK had pointed out that there is a saber magic item and another temper axe.
I believe there was I want to say at least one shard there too.
Okay, there's possibly one shard in there too. So I mean, yeah.
I believe I saw one in there.
XCal -1. I know we've seen that earlier. That's not a bad weapon. Not obviously great, unfortunately. I think XCal kind of needs to roll neutral or plus to, keep it really good, if you want to say. Just because it's a good weapon, it just falls off really late. But, I mean, most of our in-game weapons have rolled cursed from what I've seen and what Chet has talked to us about. So, Ice +5, good weapon. Sun Sword +3, good weapon in this situation. Can you make him work? I think so. We got a Saber, magic item. We got Temper magic items. We got white mages, except for Lord Fizzlebeef, because he believes in speed and power.
As a graduate of the, Lord Fizzlebeep School of FFR, I know all about the speed and power, and yes, he is a big proponent of it, so, yeah.
Oh, top right hand side, Demon RHK. Poor white mage named Life is taking a dirt nap. Nice 9 hits for 543. Takes out that white wizard. Carrie comes back 8 hits for 137 on that heavily armored fighter. More tempers coming out. We're making those weapons really sharp. Now we're going non-elemental nukes. Big swing by that Great X +5. 3 hits for 217. Nuke comes out 194. We've done about 600, 700 damage. There's about 800 damage. Fire 2 comes out from Carrie, so we're over the vanilla HP. Toss out a Quad X. No, more nuke for 186. Come on, Great Axe. There it is. 5 hits for 608. That'll give Demon RHK 2 shards. Nice job by Demon RHK. Poor white mage gets deleted, though. I mean, that was exactly what needed to happen. The fighters are really geared right now. Essentially just buff up that Great Axe +5 and let it roll. That's all he needed to do, and that's exactly what he did.
And Fizzle, while he was singing on Carrie, Fizzle, found Mohammedan class changed. So now his fighter has got, his in-game, his game weapons that he has access to. He has, post-promotion gear he was able to, because he's had that dragon armor +4 since a couple of minutes into the game, so his fighter's looking real good.
Oh, there is no mode for Team Gilgamesh. The crystal led to loot, and kind of funny there, Demon RHK, once he goes into Matoya's, gets a ice sword +5, which would have been a lot better off compared to the Great Axe, but doesn't matter. The Great Axe did what it needed to do.
Yeah, might have made that carry fight just a little easier, but
so it looks like Lord Fizzlebeef just picked up another shard. He's around 19, I believe, shards. DVS is at 16 right now, so pretty close for both runners, or both teams. We need to get to 28. Let's see. Fizzle's 8 away, so he's at 20. He's literally a Kraken Tiamat away. Kill. The only downside is their team has to find the loot and the key. It doesn't matter if you have 28 shards, you need the loot and key. And you blink, you miss it, and I didn't even see DVS is already defeated. Carrie got 2 shards for himself there, so Carrie proving not to be up to the challenge to stop Team Gilgamesh.
no, she's just getting taken out one right after the other. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Fizzle's about to get to that carry floor too, and then it'll be our 3rd carry fight in a row.
Have you, I mean, now, I know Carrie's got like 6 arms or something like that, but if you look at Team Gilgamesh's, that banner or team flag, if you want to call it, that thing's got like 10 weapons. It's an unfair fight.
I think Carrie may have met her match with Team Gilgamesh.
I think so. I mean, Trash Island Bake Sale has so much going on in theirs. I just don't even know what's going on. Carrie might actually confuse itself.
I mean, if I was Carrie, I'd say all the baked goods, and I'd be just like, all right, we're good. You just give me a brownie, and I'll let y'all go. Just, no need to fight.
Maybe Fizzle will share a little bit of his ribs he made, and that he's eating.
Hey. If it works, it works.
Cerberus playing with her food, casted Cure 3 all day, and then randomly casted Thunder and Glance just for the funsies.
They're just a little rude today.
That was very rude, but Lord Pizzlebeast about to get that Saber Stick and Temper Axe again, so he's going to have 2 Temper Axes and a Saber Stick, so... Endgame looking pretty good. You never know. I mean, our runners may need every single magic item to complete this, because with the bosses being clamped, what is it, up to 250%?
Yep, it's for week 1, our week 1 flags, they are up to 250.
Yeah, so clamped 250. What does clamp means? Well, as Fun/Bloodrun says, it is their original HP values for Lich, Carry, Tiamat, and Kraken, and Chaos, and Warmech. They all have at least their vanilla HP or up to 2.5 times that, along with all their stats. So if you're already afraid of Kraken in the original game, be even more afraid, because Kraken could be winding up with more than double-digit hits, and I just want to let you know that it hurts.
That it does.
Little pro ring that rolled neutral. That's always a plus there. So I'm looking at the levels now. So Demon Archcade is about 21-22. Looks like DVS was in the middle teens. Lord Fizzlebeef is, so ironically, the other way around, where Hit is actually the only one up and his casters are down. So this must be a grind for, no, that was just an accidental death. So
yeah, he had only made it to that floor with his fighter, and I believe it was his red mage, and then only made it to that fight with his fighter. So, but that fighter's not looking bad. He's level 24. He's got a ridiculous amount of swords and everything else he could possibly want, and really good armor. So, Hit had a rough early game, but he's looking pretty good now.
I mean, and to kind of go with it, if Fizzle wants, after taking on Carry, because I'm assuming he's going to take on Carry. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Fizzle. That's what I'm talking about.
I would have been real surprised if he hadn't, because, I mean, he doesn't have a way out the other way other than running out with one character, so, I mean, the incentivized item his partner got, so he would have lost some stuff, but yeah. We're going for it.
We are. So 2 Saber charges. That's going to... Saber is fixed in this game along with Temper. We have fixed those bugs. It's Masa -5 does about 200 damage. Oh, Sleep 2 comes out. Thankfully, Sleep only lasts for 1 turn. Carry's trying to do damage here, but that Knight is just well enough equipped and armored to be able to take those punches. Dart comes out. We resist it. Doing about 200, 300 pop here against Carry, so it's not going to be too bad. There he goes. Fizzle's going to escape. Now, does Fizzle with this one Knight, does he grind those metal slimes, you know, just to gain the extra levels?
I mean, he very easily could. He's definitely got the item magic that would make that super easy.
Because it's right there. It's really not even that hard to get to either. Like, you could just do this real quickly. You already got all your casters done for it, or dead. You know, you do this real quick, but nope, looks like he's going to bring back his casters and he's going to continue, so...
Yeah, their team's still looking for a few important key items, so I'm not surprised that he brought the whole party back. But if at one point, you know, when they do get to the end game and he feels he needs more levels, like that, like you said, that metal slime tile is like in the perfect spot. It's like right inside the entrance. You take like a couple steps, you hit the tile, you can easily take some fights, get your levels. They've got level 1 warp, can warp out, save, go back in if they need be. Like, it is in that tile is like super accessible and is super easy, especially now in later game with all the items that they have and the magic that they have to do a grind there.
but he chooses not to, which I don't blame him. And on top of that, I mean, you know, you're level 25. So what I was going to point out for everybody out there, generally, Masa at level 24 gets its 5th hit. But because it rolled -5, that knight actually has to get up to level 30 before it gets that 5th hit because of that 15 negative hit that Masa would give normally. So an interesting thing there, though, is now that, or I'm sorry, level 29. Math is hard. Math on Twitch is bad. So level 29. So that knight's got to get to level 29 to get that 5th hit on Masa. I know, Fun Slash. I tried to do math, and that's exactly why we always tell people, all commentators, don't do math on stream. It never ends well. There's Rodlock. There is the Cube Lock. So both runners are going to check out to see what those two are, but maybe, I guess Trash Island, the Bake Sale has the cube?
Either it has it and it's not that, or just seeing what the tile is.
Looks like it was just to see what the tile was.
What the tile is. Which, you know, is not surprising. I know a lot of teams, like, because there's a tile there and you never know what it is that you could easily use for levels. It's usually pretty smart to just check it even if you can't get through.
So to answer the question in chat, is the Duchess way behind with only 6 shards? Yes. Is behind, depending on how well the notes are between Lord Fizzlebeef and Duchess. Duchess could do a very quick turnaround, especially if the shards are in high congested dungeons. And with the airship, you can quickly just zoom around and collect them. And then, as I said, if you take on Kraken, you take on Tiamat, that's 8 shards. If you kill the Carrion Lich, that's another 4 shards. So you can make them up very quickly. So that's our 3rd ribbon for the seed. Astos had a cute hat that gives us resistances to all elements.
Yeah, that was the crown turn-in, which was one of our incentivized items. Now checking which the Northwest Castle locked area, which he found a shard, which a lot of people will also check that area to check the tiles there for grinding, which Demon seemed to have no interest in, which means he's probably just fine with like the metal slimes they found earlier, so if they have to go back for levels, we'll probably head there.
Top left, Lord Fizzlebeef, 1 shard away from, well, I don't even, needs loot and key. He's not in go mode because he still needs loot and key for the team, but he's almost in shard go, I guess. There's Tiamat there. That has the required war mech, so if he needs levels, he can go there. Shard mode. But if you blinked and missed the top left there, Lord Fizzlebeef was able to brack the Kraken. So he got the 4 shards from Kraken. Kraken didn't really do much there. So well played by Lord Fizzlebeef. Casting Brack, was able to take out Kraken. And he's going to take on Warmech. He's going to try and get the shards required and gains a few of those extra levels so he can just go exploring and find that loot and key. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, DVS is up to 23 shards, while Demon RHK is at 15. Those little numbers above and below the pronoun boxes, you can see them. They need to get to 28. They are in no mode. Once they both get to 28, they will be in go mode and will be able to enter Temple of Fiends Revisited to take on Chaos and all of his cronies.
Fizzle's still making his way across the Bridge of Destiny, getting quite the few encounters before he gets to Wormack. Now we get to see what kind of robot we're dealing with today.
Resistance is futile. Alright, so we have 1,000 HP at the minimum Wormack. We're going to cast non-elemental nuke. Saber. Fast. We're going speed, power. Who cares about the defense? We're going all offense here. Round 2. We got a free turn with a fire 3. We already have a bunch of ribbons. Not much of a problem here. Nukes. Slow 2 misses on the knight. Thank goodness for that non-elemental slow for missing. More non-elemental nukes. We're not breaking through that M-def of Wormack. Finally, we're going to swing. More non-elemental nukes. Rub comes out. That's going to be ineffective. More 102s from nuke. We cannot punch. Doesn't matter. It's about a vanilla HP. Wormack goes down. We gain about 2 levels for each. Nice job by Lord Fizzlebeef. Speed, power prevails over the Wormack chicken.
And with Tia, we're swinging in and just, it's all Brax. And hoping one lands.
That was all Brax. You instantly saw it too, Danny. Look at that. Brack. It's got, I think, a 25% chance-ish about to land, I think. Because he has a weakness.
Well, whatever the percentage is, I don't know. But it worked, so it's all good.
It's got a pretty good chance unless you're Grigglypuff or myself. And then it takes us about 9 casts, and then it might work.
Same. There's been a few days where I've been thoroughly convinced that my Brack is broken and does not work, but today it worked real well for Fizzle, so.
Yeah. And Bane's got about a 1 in 8 chance. Got a 1 in 8 chance to work.
See, Team Trash Island fake sailors are just sailing around the world. Fizzle into the original Gaia location, which they hadn't been to yet, so he's gonna get his incentive Sky Key. So they're Trash Island fake sailor, they're 1 item away from having their incentivized items that they need.
And
then it's just levels and shards that they need. He gets his Opal 3 bracelet from Starda, which is an Opal bracelet's nice to have always. An Opal 3 bracelet's even better to have, and put that on one of your mages and call it a day.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting here because we really need to get Duchess up and running here for Trash Island Bake Sale. You know, we found the key. We need the loot. We need to get Duchess high enough level, and we got to get him shards. Shards are the important part here. Because he's got to make up 22. We can get 12 since all the fiends have been found already. We can get the 12 really quickly. But, you know, you still got a lot more to find.
Now, the slab was from Sarah, which they don't have yet. Because, if I remember correctly, Duchess found, Canary Castle, but hadn't done his Garland kill, so he didn't get the slab from Sarah. So they still need the slab from Sarah. And once they get their slab from Sarah, they'll be able to translate that, turn it into Lefane, get their crystal. And then once they get that turned into Matoya, they'll have their loot.
Yep, it's the one strange thing that was mentioned earlier. If, you know, the herb turn-in doesn't get transferred over to your partner, and neither does beating Garland. So, Lord Pizzlebeef. Oh, the Martian incentive gives us a whopping 4,000 gold. Hooray!
That's what I was afraid of, because we did a couple of our other runners earlier in this seed have one heck of a time with that Marsh Cave trying to find out what was in that box, only for those really, really chimeras to be hiding just a box full of money.
I mean, that's what you like about the randomizer, you know, is you have this really awful spike tile that is stopping you from what you believe is going to be progression. And you open up that wonderful chest with high expectations, and you get a whopping 4,000 gold that does nothing when you already have 100,000 gold.
They're just starting to catch up just a little bit. He's up to, I think it was 8 shards or so now, so he's now starting to pick up his shard count.
Yeah, so one of the things is being behind in shard count is rough to a certain degree, but he can catch up very. Actually, he's up to 10, I think. Yeah, he's up to 10. So he's got 10 shards, 18 to go. You can get 12 from the fiends alone, which then he only needs 6 more loose shards. So I believe all the fiends were easy to find. He just needs levels to be able to take on the war mech, you know, and the execution. But he can easily catch up real quickly and make this a very close race. It all depends on, you know, how fast he can do that, because that fighter is only level 16, so
yeah. Fizzle, after getting the cube, went back to the cube block to see what's past here.
That's right, MG Weirdo. It is the Woo and Wheels commentary duo. We are here rocking it out. Danny's keeping me honest, and I'm trying to cause as much mischief and mayhem as I possibly can.
Fizzle getting past that cube block, which led to the ice loop, and getting his incentivized crown, which we know from Team Gilgamesh, once they turn that into assets, will be the incentivized ribbon, which still has Trash on the Big still looking for that loot. I'm hoping that they haven't forgotten that they still need to talk to Princess Sarah.
Well, that's and that's the thing is Lord Fizzlebeef has done the Sarah talk in Temple of Fiends and killed Garland. The Duchess has not, so it's one of those weird things of Lord Fizzlebeef may not have made the connection that he only got one incentive item or one key item from that Canaria, you know, check.
Temper level 2. Always nice to find, even if you do have 2 Temper Axes. Fizzle picking up Quad X, it's another really good spell. Not, you know, as often, but one that I always like to have. One I was always taught by Fizzle that you should always pick up, because you never know when you might need it, and it can help a lot in fiend fights. Getting it and then noping out pretty quick. His teammate also in Provoca, which looks like he's headed out too. It's like, you know, a team meetup in Provoca and heading out to finish a seed. Team meeting, you know.
Well, they were cooking some more cookies.
Hey, there you go. I want cookies next day.
I mean, they did try to cook us some cookies, you know, to try and get on our good sides, but Danny and I said we are not sold by cookies.
Are you sure you're not? Because I've seen some of the things so far that this is giving them, and I'm starting to think you were bribed with cookies.
Shh, Danny. Shh. Don't do that to me.
Well, it makes you feel
nom.
makes you feel any better. I'd think happy thoughts that gave people new shirts too if I got cookies. So.
Well, you know, I decided to play nice. You know, they had a horrible seed last time because you gave them a very, you know, rough seed. I gave them a rough kind of early game / easy, you know, if you paid attention. And then I said, okay, end game, you know, we're giving you all this stuff, but Kraken 2 is gonna, you know, rock your world. I'm just calling it now. Kraken and Tiamat are just gonna rock our runner's world. I'm calling it now.
Yeah, Fizzle making his way to Ordeals because neither of them on Treshel and Big Seal had been to Ordeal yet. And finding Lich at the bottom of Ordeals, realizing he doesn't need those 2 shards, and resetting right back out while Demon RHK is taking on Wormack. It's because to get past him, then he'll get 4 shards for taking on T, and then if our 23 count of shards is correct, that will leave him just 1 shard short.
This is the test here. We keep mentioning it. Does Lord Fizzlebeef remember to check Temple of Fiend? Oh, maybe? But top right here, Demon RHK taking on Wormack here. Looks like he's going on a little more passive approach compared, but the Vorpal is doing good damage. Non-elemental slow 2 hits the Knight, loses his hit bonus, his extra hit, so he's gonna have to recast fast. Instead, he's gonna just go nuke and buy Wormack. Doesn't matter at this point. He's up to level 26 across the board, so Demon RHK is in decent level category. I would say maybe needs a little bit more, but at 26 with a white mage, definitely not impossible with these clamped bosses. So that was a pretty good fight. It looks like Wormack doesn't really have a whole lot of stuff there. Both Lord Fizzlebeef and Demon really didn't get low on HP. Lord Fizzlebeef was able to just 3-turn it. The Demon was essentially maybe 4-turn it, you know, with a bad slow 2 hit. So, I mean, the bad news is if Wormack doesn't have anything or is not showing much, that means Topher could be very, very horrible, which is great for us, bad for the runners.
Well, oh, okay, you're almost there, Fizzle. Just need to. You took a right, you should have went left. We're just gonna need you to check that box, and then bounce out and go talk to Sarah.
I think he's
sending you happy thoughts, Fizzle. Come on.
No, go back.
Sit, no, park, don't fly away. Park.
Uh-oh. I mean,
you're almost there, Fizzle. We believe in you, Fizzle. No.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I'm him, if I'm Lord Fizzlebeef right now, I would probably have done the same thing. You know, I would have checked that just in case. You know, it's confusing because the princess is such a weird thing to kind of like keep track of.
Yeah.
And it was so early in the game. I mean, we're an hour and a half in, and he's got to remember, you know, from 5 minutes in the game that he beat the princess and that the Duchess didn't, because he's probably assuming that the Duchess had defeated the princess. Or, I mean, Garland.
Yeah, when you have something like that that happens super early in the seed, like right in the first few minutes, and then you're this far in, it really is, even if you have like really good notes and everything else, it can be very hard to remember because so much happens in these seeds with so many different locations and everything else, and you're communicating so much information about locations and shards and incentivized items that it is very easy to, you know, miss something. I'm often confused and forget something, and thankfully I have a great partner who remembers things much better than I do.
Well, I'm gonna get to that in 1 second. Oh, well, DVS gave us a little tease there. Went into Temple of Fiends Revisited, realized with the better trap treasure flag on, he should check these Temple of Fiends locked chests here because they do get a bonus to good items. It'll be interesting to see if one of them will give us something here. Water tile's actually not a bad thing to run into. Katana -5. Nothing there. 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 18 seconds. DVS has entered Temple of Fiends. Gilgamarsh's Demon RHK looks like one shard away from go mode. So Gilgamarsh is in a very good position right now.
Yep. Fizzle, I think, is said still needs that loop, but he went and he's working on levels right now, and he unequipped a lot of stuff on those mages. So I think we're gonna possibly see here shortly, you know, just that fighter getting levels.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, the lead is definitely in Gilgamarsh's. There is go mode for Gilgamarsh's. Both members, both have 28. Both of them are able to go into Temple of Fiends Revisited. And they have quite the advantage on Trash Island Bake Sale. So Lord Fizzlebeef's grinding, unfortunately, because, you know, it might be a case of, instead of wandering around, let's grind up and rethink everything that I've done. Instead of wasting time kind of a thing, you know? You know, let's grind, let's at least get a couple levels and think about what it is I need to do. So, DVS, bottom right-hand side, on the earth floor, about halfway before taking on Lich 2. Demon, RHK, his partner, grabbing the wall spell. Give you, in combat, ribbon protection or resistances to all spells once it's casted on one of your light warriors. Very important, even though we've got access to 3 ribbons in the seed. Still very good for that 4th light warrior if you need to cast it. Unrunnable earth packs are not fun.
Oh, most definitely. Honestly, anything you see once you're in Toper, you don't want to see unrunnable. Everything, it doesn't even matter what it is. If it's unrunnable, it's not fun. Especially then, because you just want to go.
I like this by Demon RHK. Make sure to go to the shops to pick up, you know, the lock spell, the lock 2 spell, you know, picking up wall, picking up these cure 4 spells, because you want to be able to one and done Temple of Fiends Revisited. I'm pretty sure that our newer players, Demon RHK and DVS, who went through the Duckling program, know Lord Fizzlebeef. They know how good he is. You don't want to give Lord Fizzlebeef many options. You want to take control of the game, and you want to take it out of Lord Fizzlebeef's hands, because he's taught a lot of new players. Hey, speaking of which, hey Danny, you were taught by Lord Fizzlebeef, and you were co-op champion, so yeah.
I was indeed taught by Lord Fizzlebeef. Like I said, I'm a graduate of the Fizzle School of FFR.
So, and she will tell you, you know, Lord Fizzlebeef knows his stuff. He's very quick. I've raced against him also, and you give him an inch, he'll take a mile from you. And bottom right hand side here, there goes Lich 2. He got nuked to death essentially. So, Lich 2 didn't really do much. None of the Light Warriors on DVS looks like dropped much HP, so Lich 2 didn't have much, at least early in the spell list. We're about to take on Carry 2 here. This is the first kind of Gatekeeper. Carry can roll pretty nasty if it's allowed. Has a decent amount of hits. I believe it's 6 hits in the vanilla game. Can roll up pretty substantially. And she's got 700 HP base. So that's a little over 1600 HP if it rolls at max.
Yeah, with these flags, and I'm sure you ran into one or two too. At least, like these flags, carry two can really be really bad. Like I've run into a few that were just not fun to get through at all.
Zap comes out by carry. We resist it. I believe the black shirt saves one of those black wizards that didn't have the ribbon. Not evasive carry, so all 5 hits from the Vorpal was able to hit. There's 10 hits. Gotta be getting almost down. There goes carry. So first 2 fiends, nothing happening. And that's a level 39 on a couple of his party members. Look at that knight, 706 HP. And a 528 HP on that white wizard. So possibly over leveled, but you know what? We're an hour and 38 minutes in and he's that high level. So well done.
I'll say, always better to be over leveled than under leveled. So
exactly true. I mean, if you can get away with being over leveled, your Temple of Fiends, dive is a lot quicker, a lot safer, and you can be a lot more aggressive. Kraken 2, the first official gatekeeper. This is the true gatekeeper generally. You have a decision. You either go slow and go defensive, or you go speed and power like Lord Fizzlebeef. Look at that, 8 hits for 512. Oh, we missed Kraken. Oh boy, this is not looking good for DVS's first turn here. That knight is at 188 HP. That is in nuclear territory and nuke. 106, so that's a highly evasive Kraken still. Blizzard comes out. DVS's knight is at 163 on his knees here. All of his casters are one-shottable by a high roll nuke except for that white mage. Or white wizard, I should say. We're still casting nukes and fades here. We're trying to get that non-elemental spell to crit through that MDef. Kraken will not have it. Fire 2 comes out. More nukes. We're still casting these non-elemental spells. 133. Kraken breaks the poor black wizard up top. Missing with a Vorpal. More casting. The Vorpal 121 with a crit. 195 finally able to defeat the first gatekeeper of Kraken. Kraken didn't really show anything. We didn't see nuke. We didn't see nuclear. We didn't see cure 4. We didn't even see a slow 2. So all of this stuff is in the pool still, potentially.
Which could make Tia and Chaos very scary.
But that was a very evasive Kraken, but it wasn't too bad. Thankfully, DVS moved that knight down, which worked out, but in some cases, I guess it was kind of a bad thing because the knight didn't do anything to damage Kraken, essentially. You basically, had to rely on your mages, and here's Tiamat too. So looks like we're doing more non-elemental casting here. Looks like there was no. We're doing a temper on 1. We're casting non-elementals, magic items, and we're gonna see if the Vorpal will work. 8 hits for 779. Vorpal doing work, but Tiamat has fasted. Uh-oh. If that gets a hold of that knight, bye-bye knight. Tiamat 2 rolls 1100 vanilla HP. There's 9 hits for a whole lot of damage. Doesn't matter. If Vorpal does Vorpal things when tempered up, crushes Tiamat, slices and dices.
And Fizzle, he got there. All it needed was taking out a little frustration on Melmond. And he has gotten his Oxo from the King, his slab from Princess Sarah. And we all know now that once he gets that slab translated and turned in, he'll get that crystal from Lefane and get his loot from Matoya. And then he will be right behind our our Team Gilgamesh in Temple of Fiends Revisited.
The Team Gilgamesh, right-hand side, Demon RHK has taken down the first two, we'll call them easy bosses, Lich 2 and Carry 2. He's catching up. He's going to have to take on that ever-annoying Kraken. What kind of game plan will Demon RHK do to get through this? Highly evasive. Hits like a truck. Tiamat really didn't do a whole lot, but had fast. But, bottom right-hand side for Team Gilgamesh. Will DVS be able to get done, be the first player done, and help Gilgamesh win the match? Will they move on to the Elite 8? Oh, poor Fizzle in that second slot gets absolutely destroyed by Chaos. We have Invis 2s being casted. We're raising our own evasion. We're trying to prevent Chaos from one-shotting our Light Warriors. More sabering. More tempering of that Vorpal-wielding Knight in that bottom slot. Chaos, 2 hits for 346. Chaos hits so hard. But Invis 2, or Invasion 2, whatever you want to call it, is working wonders. Keeps that top slot Black Mage alive. Goes down, but it was only 1 hit from Chaos. Vorpal finally swings 2 hits for 626. I believe both hits crit. What a great swing by that Vorpal. Unfortunately, we have no lock cast. Chaos has high evasion. No Black Mages are up. We have no lock. We have no way, so we're going to rely on RNG. We have to rely on crits to get through this Chaos. Chaos seems to be punch happy. There's a crit by the Vorpal for 306. More tempers. I like the play. Might as well rely upon that 1 hit. Ink comes out. That's going to be ineffective. We're getting through that spell list and skill list. Is there a slow 2? Is there nukes and nuclears or a cure 4 to make this even longer of a fight? 3 hits. I think 2 crit. Another crit. Nuclear comes out. Good thing we have high HP. Heal 3. We're going to try and keep up our HP totals. The White Mage is now out of nuke range. Knight's looking good. 2 hits. DVS has done it. First half of Team Gilgamesh has finished.
GG to DVS. Now we just need to see how Demon RHK fares on his trip here through Topher. And while DVS was finishing his Topher run for Team Gilgamesh, Fizzle got his turn-ins done. He got his loot, and he is not too far behind. He's doing his first Topher dive as well, as his teammate Duchess gets caught up with his shards, which he's doing. He's finding, and then hopefully won't be too far behind Fizzle and Temple of Fiends. So
for everybody out there, the reason why, so both runners have to finish on a team before you win. So Team Gilgamesh, DVS has to tell Demon RHK what to expect, kind of, a game plan on what to do. What did the Fiends do? And once Demon RHK finishes, their team is done, and we can officially say that they won. There's a tornado we didn't see. That's a non-elemental spell. Tiamat is going through his skill list and could be potentially dangerous. Oh, 5 hits. So we know Fast is out there for Tiamat. He hasn't casted it yet. If he did, could be trouble, but I think the Vorpal's gonna... Oh, it didn't crit enough. Doesn't matter. Fade, non-elemental, takes care of Tiamat. Demon RHK, 1 floor away from taking on Chaos. Just a couple steps away. Lord Fizzlebeef from Trash Island Bake Sale, top left in Temple of Fiends Revisited, trying to get done here. He's got to get through Lich 2. He's making his way. He's going to be going on to the Earth floor. Temple of Fiends Revisited, Demon RHK, top right. going to be taking on Chaos here. We know Chaos high evasion. So, what is Demon Archk going to do? Is he going to cast locks first? Is he going to do what the DVS did? Is he going to cast tempers and sabers and just rely upon the crit of the Vorpal? Alright, Black Wizards are up front. We're casting fast, double fast, saber, and bruise on the White Wizard. So the White Wizard must have the Masa, the Knight must have the Vorpal. Chaos says, we're not letting you cast too many locks because I'm going to wipe out that poor Black Wizard. More sabers by the Knight. Another Ruse Cat. Is he going to rely upon the White Wizard to finish this? Another Black Mage down. The White Mage already got the fast casted on him. The White Samurai is out. Casting Tempers. Interesting call here. Okay, so we have essentially only evasion stacks on the White Wizard. And the White Wizard wasn't high enough, so the White Wizard didn't have a whole lot of cast of Invis 2 or Ruses. And nobody can hit Chaos. This could be a wipe. Oh no. Chaos has 2000 HP base, or in vanilla. Can roll up to, what is it? 5,000? We know it took a decent amount of shots from DVS. Maybe 2,500 to 3,000. Now we're finally able to crit. Nuclear comes out. High rolls. Pretty good. Uh-oh. We're not looking good here. The White Samurai might be the only one alive. That the Vorpal misses. Oh, Danny. This is gonna be rough. We got turn order. Well, kind of turn order. We got lucky. 488. Gilgamesh has taken game 2, taken the match. They are moving on to the top 8. The round of 8.
GG, Team Gilgamesh.
GG indeed, Danny. Wow, that was a scary, scary battle there.
It sure was.
I mean, that was not having enough Invis 2s. Chaos was hitting hard enough that was basically one-shotting both the Knight and a White Wizard with basically 4 stacks of evasion. I mean, that was... Phew. So, GG to them. We'll see about getting them in, as Lich 2 apparently had nuclear. Lord Fizzlebeef has found out that Lich 2 had nuclear.
Now I'll check here. Give me 1 second and see if they'd like to come in for an interview.
So, thank you for everybody that was, watching and stuff like that. Obviously, we're going to continue to watch Trash Island Bake Sale here, try and finish it out as best we can. I mean, the story of the tape, I guess, if you want to say it, is exploration and the communication between, the teams. Trash Island Bake Sale kind of got caught up and forgot about, the princess. Demon RHK and DVS and Gilgamesh was able to do a lot of exploring. The communication was there and was able to get it done. And a lot less as spinning of the wheels, if you want to say. And speaking of that, I hear the door opening. I hear Demon RHK breathing a sigh of relief as he was able to take out Chaos. Gilgamesh, GG, welcome to the Elite 8, I guess, if you want to say.
GG, Gilgamesh.
Thank you.
Which Dang says, GG and welcome to the Elite Eight, which I think he says with just a little bit of hesitation, because I think after watching that, he might be a little scared, because if I'm not mistaken, I think Dang knows who his opponents are in the Elite Eight now.
Ding, you're fired for that seed to begin with.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can, yeah, like Danny's. I would take a Danny seed any day, as opposed to that one Dang seed.
Why? What was wrong with my seed? It was great.
I mean, again, probably for the viewer experience, but that first 35 minutes was, yeah,
It was
that
great.
that was something special.
It's like the third Snake Plissken movie. Instead of Escape from LA, it was Escape from Melmon, which is a crescent lake, as I wipe out 12 times.
Yeah, well, and we would have done anything to have that crack at level 1. I mean, at least we could have like taken something a little heftier, but no, I feel like as soon as we got past that one hurdle of like getting up to level, like finding something to kill, things started falling together a little bit, except that I had horrible note-taking this time. So,
yeah, it was a rough early game, but once we played the game of get to the nuke cast so we can just kill the metal slimes in one tap, then it was a lot better.
Yeah. Though I do have to hand it to the seed for the nuke shirt, the fade stick, the temper axes, and the saber. What was it? Another saber stick or something?
Yeah, it was Saber Stick.
Yeah, those were helpful. I'll give you that.
Yeah, it was like every time you guys found like some kind of casting item with magic on it, we're like, really? And then you found something else, like, seriously, Seed? It's just fine. It's like all these wonderful things that you just like to have, and the Seed's like, just here you go.
Well, I guess it made it up for the Massa -5, the X-Cal -1, the Vorpal -2. If any was unlucky enough to bring a thief, the katanas were -5.
Yeah.
Like, pre-promotion swords were all really nice. Like, your sun sword was really nice at +3. There was an ice.
Yeah, the Ice 5 was good.
Yeah, the Ice 5 from...
Really nice. And then all of a sudden you guys start finding like the Mazda and the post-promotion swords, and it was all negatives. And I'm like, oh, maybe that's why the game was giving you temper axes.
Yeah. Well, it's funny though, because I think this is the first time we've played, at least more recently, where both of us just happen to be in the exact same area-ish when one of us finds a really important item. And we were like, ended up double diving the same entrance a couple times, just because as I was about to head to the other side of the world, Demon finds the nuke shirt and says, turn around, come here immediately. Which typically, I mean, that kind of thing doesn't usually happen for us. So it was a little change.
Yeah, we kind of noticed that on stream. Like, he found it, and then like right after that, you booked it to that location. Like, oh, he's going for the nuke shirt.
The only real snafu we had was an armory, because I went down there looking for shards later, and I'm like, DVS, did you check the right side of armory? He's like, no, I didn't check it, which turns out to be 2 shards of the Massa and the second Temper X.
Yeah.
Yeah, missed out on a little bit there.
Yeah, there was a couple of floors, like the Agama Volcano floor, like that had a lot of great stuff on it. The Armory floor had a lot of really good stuff on it. Like, there was just a few specific floors throughout the seed that just had so much good stuff on it that like it made all the sense in the world just to like have both players like go through and do them both.
I think MVP goes to my one black mage and my white mage that I want to say were by themselves for a good 20-25 minutes in the same dungeon and still managed to come out alive. That was a very nerve-wracking, dangerous walk that I took.
I'm going to get back to you in 1 second about that. Lord Pizzlebeast about the full chaos. Kraken did Kraken things, took out 2 of his light warriors. Red Mage, Black Wizard are down. He's got 2 light warriors, managed to get through Tiamat very closely though. We are going full buffing strats, but Chaos hits hard. 3 hits for 390 on that knight that is level 50. That was a 999 HP knight. Poor Black Wizard gets destroyed for 513. That was a 3 hit for 900 shot. Chaos, uh-oh. We're in trouble here. There is no way we're getting through this unless Chaos casts. Oh, he did! Wow! So, 3 tack turned chaos and finished it. GG to Lord Fizzlebeef there. I was not expecting that. I thought it was going to take at least another turn, but he got turn order and was able to finish it. Speed, power, and a half rack of ribs, was able to defeat chaos.
Yeah, that was super close.
GG to Lord Fizzlebeef. Trash Island Bake Sale, unfortunately, is going to lose out to this, but they played a heck of a game. Gilgamesh brought it in. I was gonna say, so DVS, we noticed that at one point, how were those chimeras? You seem to really want to hang out with them.
Jesus. Yeah. It was funny because in our little pre-interview thing, we were talking about how we have to try not to just like keep running into an entrance and dying over and over again. And literally in the middle of that dive, I was like, I told Dangwoo we were gonna not do this, and here I am diving in.
Yeah, Dang mentioned that, and I thought to myself, I was like, can the racers commentate or curse themselves?
Yeah, apparently. But like, no, my thinking was, I knew Marsh Bottom was incentivized. We still hadn't broken out at that point. So, what is this particular item going to be? And I kind of got tunnel visioned onto that one thing. So I tried to do everything else and pick up a couple levels and then went back to try it again. And they just got ambush on me every time. And I was finally like, okay, I have to be done with this. And turned out to be one of our junk incentives anyway. So definitely not a good decision.
Yeah, it was worth a whopping 4,000 gold. I believe Lord. So you went and tried to do it, wiped out a bunch of times. The Duchess tried to go for it, wiped out a bunch of times, and had to run away. Lord Fizzlebeef said, "Hold my half rack of ribs, I'll do it." Went in, crushed it because he was really high level, and he got a whopping 4,000 gold. So we all had a big chuckle over that one.
At that point, we kind of already knew that it wasn't something you were going to need by the time Fizzle got it. But at one point, I was just like, I actually kind of hope it's something everybody needs. So it was kind of worth all those trips that everybody just kept wiping in there, to make it worth it. Because it would have felt bad to be like, yeah, we did all that, and all we got was a box of money. But
you're a good soul, Danny. I appreciate you hoping the best for us.
I was hoping it was just spit 2 gold. I mean, it gave you 4,000. I was just hoping for 2 gold. So at Gilgamesh, you have moved on to the top 8. You get to take on the upstarts, which is oh hey, that's my team. What you looking forward to? What kind of things you guys planning? I mean, I'm not saying that I'm trying to get any information on you, but
So I'm gonna go ahead and spoil it right now. We've got a foolproof plan to try to beat you guys. We're going to taunt you into baiting you into the worst drafts possible, and that way everybody has to suffer, and if we all have to suffer, it's a 50-50 coin flip.
Now, I just want to let you know this, okay? I was able to beat the Spring Tournament champion with horrible draft. Are you sure you want to take me on with that?
Well, but you also have Greg. So,
Ouch!
Oh.
shots fired.
I have to talk a little smack.
Hey, I approve of it. Even though he's my partner, I approve of what you just said. And speaking of that, he was in chat. Hey, Gregly Puff.
I mean, hey, you want to block out 6 hours on a Randomania or a speed gaming channel, or even here on RPG Limit Break? We can just do 4 white mages.
I mean, if y'all agree to it, I'll schedule it and book it. All you gotta do is let me know. Just like when you schedule your matches, put it in the notes so I know what I need to schedule it for, and we'll get it on a schedule.
I'm no longer liking where this is going. It's getting nerve-wracking.
No, it'll be fine. It'll be tons of fun. Plus, then it's quality content for anybody that wants to listen to the Upstarts conversations, because lately we've been really rated PG. We got to change that.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the next round, we just have to remember to keep playing our game and not try to overthink everything, because that's usually where I get stuck on. So, you know,
So
and I think for the Elite Eight, we have low wealth instead of normal wealth. So I think it'll be cool to try to adjust gameplay style, knowing that there could be any type of item out there, and we can't expect to have the good armor and weapons that we're used to. So I think that should make things a little more interesting.
yeah, and I was actually going to point out. So I talked to the fans out there, and I told them about our pregame interview, and what you guys thought was your keys to victory. Keep the consistency, which I thought you guys did pretty well, or almost exactly what you guys wanted. Yeah, you played calm, but obviously preventing multiple wipe loops in the same dungeon. DVS kind of didn't do it, but you know what? It didn't really cost you. So hey, you kept your calm. You finally decided, hey, I'm gonna leave. Ended up being the right call. So I think you guys did your 3 things of victory, and it worked out.
Well, thank you. I feel like, just to be honest, playing the upstarts next week, you and Gregory Puff have done so much with the Duckling program, and just being such helpful people in the Discord and getting us used to the game in general, that it's just kind of cool to play against 2 people that have been there with us the whole time. So I'm looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to it too. I'm always up for crushing those new ducklings.
Although some of these new ducklings are really good and scare me, so I'm not gonna say I'm crushing anybody anytime soon.
Right, especially the Gilgamesh team. I'm kind of terrified of them. They looked pretty good there. The demon didn't, bail out of that chaos fight. Was able to take it down. You guys played excellent. So it's gonna be a great match. I'm looking forward to tilting Gregory, and looking forward to a great, hopefully, 3-game match against you guys. Even though I'm only hoping for 2, I don't want to go to game 3.
As a viewer, I'm hoping for game 3. But also want to welcome Duchess and Fizzle to the booth. We're gonna pop in because we might have to cut the restream here just in a bit, but we want to let them come in and get their so they can interview and tell us how they feel about this seed and their experience with co-op and all that fun stuff. So welcome, guys.
Hi.
Hi.
So yeah, as y'all can see, I played like some booty, but did I have fun? Yes, indeed.
One question for Fizzle. Do you feel you left Melmond a little worse than you found it?
No. Error. Do not understand question parameters.
Enjoying ribs. I cannot comprehend what you're saying.
Between the taco ribs and dinner and baked goods this whole seed, I'm not gonna lie, as soon as this is over, I am raiding my kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
That will be a thing.
So my aggressive remodeling of Melmond came from a bit of a miscommunication and misstrategy on our part. At that point, I thought the only thing that was left was Northwest Castle underneath the Rodlock, and I knew Duchess was in there going to get it. There didn't need to be 2 of us in there, and I knew that was going to lead to some sort of nightmarish chain that would lead to the loot. And then he gets down there and says, oh, hey, this is a ribbon, and it's just like, oh no. Which is like, okay, I know that stuff is only at NPCs, so I'm just going to run around and check every NPC. And then I ended up finding it at Sarah, the slab at Sarah, and I was just like, oh god, I could have had this minutes ago.
Yeah, well, so what really messed up Duchess was in the early, he actually wiped out a couple times in Temple of Fiends in that early part from the Gerwolves. And then I think he thought that it shared the princess, maybe? Or he just forgot that he had to defeat Garland too. So he actually went up into Canary Castle, talked to the king, and then walked out. And I'm like, I think Fizzle's gonna assume that, or maybe thought that it was one key item, one,
That definitely was it.
like an opal or an item or something, or a dud.
Yeah. I mean, the key to co-op is implicit trust of your team member. Even if mistakes happen, hey, mistakes happen. It's a learning experience. We grow together. So, if I was in that situation again, would I trust my teammate and trust the math and trust the spreadsheet? 100%, absolutely. Because the second you start second guessing a teammate, that's when you've truly sunk as a team.
Mm-hmm.
Lord Fizzlebeef, I feel attacked because I don't fully trust my teammate at all.
Look, you guys are like the most
You're the
amazing
exception to the
anti-team.
rule.
The most amazing anti-team I've ever seen. I don't understand how it works, and I'm
It's
scared
like
of it.
Goku and Vegeta. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like Vegeta
Yeah.
hates Goku. Goku's like, "You're my man's," and Vegeta's like, "No way, but we can't beat Boo without working with each other." So,
Yeah.
It's like nobody knows how it works, but it does, and we all enjoy it. It's
Mhm.
entertaining
it.
for all.
I mean, like last year, I mean, I hate to make it about us there, but like there was just so many times where him and I were just talking, and it literally just felt like we were just talking to fill space, and nobody was listening to each other. We're like, yeah, this enemy's got this spell. There's an ice sword here, and there's a masa here, and then literally 5 minutes later, hey, where was that masa? Or hey, I just ran into that enemy that just wiped me. Why didn't you tell me?
Hey, that still counts as communication, because that puts the little
Exactly.
earworm in your brain that's just like, oh, I heard the word Mazza at some point, and it wasn't me that said it. Where was that? I would
Nah,
like to go get that.
that happened to us as well.
Mhm.
That happened to us as well for a second. I mean, I had to cycle back through 45 seconds of like, what did I do? What did I do for me to be like, oh crap, it's here? Like, because you know how it goes. You got the spreadsheet, but deep down, you don't want to take your hands off the sticks. So,
All right, so Trash Island Bake Sale, you guys made some delicious things for us, in the commentary booth. We enjoyed them. We appreciate it. You guys raced 2 so far. Obviously, we wish you would have, had been able to do more. Unfortunately,
indeed.
a team has to be eliminated. What you guys looking at for the future here? Are you guys going to partake in anything going down, or are you guys going to take a little break? What's going on?
I'd like to dip my feet back into the commentary booth a bit more now that I can commit some nights to not practice or not any of the other million things that I generally do. Basically, yeah, I want to get in the booth more. It's fun
Name
in
a
here.
ring, I'm putting you on it.
Front left bumper is going to be reactivated to active duty in the commentary booth.
Same with Duchess. Oh, can we get like Trash Island Big Sale Calm team, please?
We
Please
can
don't
definitely get
on a
the
race.
Trash Island Bake Sale. We can
Sure.
definitely get that for sure.
I mean,
I
I'm not
think,
saying you have to commentate one of my races, but please.
Oh,
and
it's too
thank
late.
you.
You've
But you have
you've already
to.
said the thing.
Yeah, I'm not saying you have to, but you have to. I'm sorry.
But I'll put you on any race. I might smile a little extra big if I'm putting you on mine. I'm just saying.
Definitely down to come in the booth and help commentate. And
Mhm.
I'll probably join in some pop races as well. Like town shuffle and everything is not my strong suit, but I'm actually super glad that this whole, I guess, tournament is formatted to this. Because now I'm learning how to, decipher all this. And I think I'll just start throwing my ring in the hat for, other seeds, other tourneys, et cetera, et cetera. So
Can
Deep into
confirm.
the pool. Now you learn.
I was gonna say, it can confirm. Did the same last year. Never raced till I did co-op, and now I do other things that I never in a million years thought I would do. And Spizzle giggles because he knows I always said I'm never racing, and here we are a year later. So yeah, I would love to see you keep at it, Duchess.
defo.
All right. So, as I don't want to keep you guys for too long, I want to appreciate y'all. I'm going to go into the last thoughts and stuff like that very shortly. I just want to remind everybody that is still here listening to the interviews. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, Clever Team Name versus Last Minute Chaos. That is Game 1 action. Myself and my partner, Gregory Puff, the Upstarts, will be doing commentary for that. So Can't wait for that. We're going to be able to broadcast this Game 1 action that should be really good. Sawney Wrath and Dark Moon up against Last Minute Chaos, which is escaping me. Their teams, I just looked it up. And now I feel awful about it.
Last Minute Chaos is Freddy and Ganon's Gone Wild.
Oh, Ganon's Gone Wild. The Dark Horse from Spring Tournament 2020 that was a madman in that. Raced out of his world. I can't wait to watch him again.
Oh yeah, tomorrow's gonna be good. Looking forward to watching tomorrow's race.
So for final thoughts, let's go with Team Trash Island Bake Sale. Lord Fizzlebeef, if you want to go first.
Sure. I'd like to thank RPG Limit Break for hosting us. I'd like to thank the amazing Woo and Wheels comms team. I'd like to basically thank everyone that put work into this co-op tournament that we've got going on. A lot of time and effort and care went into putting these flags together. I think they're really good, and I can't wait to see how things advance in the coming weeks.
And all right, let's go over to his partner, Duchess for Kaiosama.
I just want to give a shout out, say GG to our opponents. Y'all did well. Congrats on the win. Definitely want to echo everything Fizzle just said. And I mean, just also thanks to community in general, people watching on VODs, whether you're watching live, whether you're restreaming, whether you're just in the Discord, we all come together to make this a wonderful and lively community. And these are the things that you think about, when you're years and years and years older. We spent time doing something as simple as playing FF1 co-op. So super thankful for y'all, even on the other side of the world.
Awesome, and I'm glad I got to see you play there, Duchess. I can't wait to watch you further on, and I gotta admit, you in the commentary booth is a nice fresh air there because you bring a lot of different things that I think the commentary booth needs. You bring a lot of energy.
Thanks.
All right, let's go to our winners here. Team Gilgamesh. Let's start with Demon RHK since he was the one that completed the seed first. Or no, he completed second. Wow, I'm all over the place now. Demon, how'd you feel? Well, let me get your final thoughts. See, look, I'm already burnt out.
Just want to echo everybody else. Thanks to the Restream comms, RPG for hosting us, trackers as well. You guys, I know it gets hectic with 4 of us in here and items being passed back and forth repeatedly. GG to our opponents, thanks a lot for participating and playing us playing us tight here, keeping us on our toes and everything. Rip to anybody who had a Pick'em's bracket. Sorry about that, I guess. And I want to just thanks to all of your viewers too. Without you guys and everybody putting together everything here in the Discord, we wouldn't have anything here to do to actually race for. So thanks to everyone.
And over to his partner, DVS.
Yeah, I mean, more of the same. Thanks to Jay Shadow and Shadowed Flames for tracking. Yeah, I know it's insane with floor and entrance and towns and magic and all of that happening. Yeah, and I'm honestly, it's kind of an honor to play in this kind of tournament because I was one of those YouTube guys that just watched spring tournament VODs for a while, and I've seen all of you in this community playing and been like, oh man, those guys are really good. It'd be crazy to play against them. And not only is it cool to play against people in this community, but the fact that pretty much everybody tells you all of their secrets to make sure you get better. And I think that's what really brought us here. And quick shout out to Iron Gallers out there. Personal opinion, if you want to get good at Final Fantasy Randomizer, play really hard seeds. If you're bashing your head against the wall, that means you're about to learn something that's going to knock a couple minutes off. And Iron Gall is a great way to get into some really tough seeds.
But DVS speaks the truth there. It really helps to watch veteran run-ins like Lord Fizzlebeef, Crab Cake, Spell Zap, Thunderclawed, Shadow Walker. He's a great runner to watch and stuff like that. Watch how they operate on those tough seeds and will, teach you a lot. Danny?
Spend a lot
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and spending a lot of time watching Will Bloodworth play single thieves and single black mages on things that look like Braun. Like if you want to learn, that's some amazing stuff to watch, and he loves talking about his game. So quick shout out to Will Bloodworth there.
Oh, for sure. Will Bloodworth is another one. Danny, you want to do final thoughts, or do you want to take us out?
Well, I think we did we hear from Demon RHK?
Who? Oh, sorry. Yeah, we already did
We said-
Demon.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I know we were going through
it
the
was-
line, but
it
you
was
got a
part of
little
the-
confused there.
It was part of that team, the Gilgamesh team. You know, they're just honorary top 8s right now. I'm just kidding. I love y'all.
Careful what you say, Dang might come back to bite you in the butt in a week. Saying.
Honorary nothing. They thumped us fair and square.
Touche.
I think Dang's just watching his words because he knows he's got to take them on in a week.
That's right. I'm trying to be a little nice right now. Gregory, I hope you've been practicing, Gregory. My back's been hurting recently.
Oh.
Ouch.
All right, on that note, Danny, why don't you do some final thoughts before I get myself in trouble here?
Final thoughts, just GG to both teams. This was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to watch you guys play. It was a lot of fun to commentate. RPG Limit Break for letting us carry on our co-op shenanigans here tonight. Jay Shadell and Shadowed Flames both for doing the tracking. You guys did a great job. You made sure that me and Dang knew what we were talking about, because otherwise we probably wouldn't have. And to Dang, the woo to my wheels. Thank you for doing comms with me. I don't do comms often, and when I do, it's always fun doing them with you. So I had a lot of fun tonight, and we might just have to do it again some other time.
Most definitely, Danny. It has been a blast once again because you keep me honest. And, well, it's a lot of fun. So, my name is Dang Woo. That was Danny3883. We are Team Woo and Wheels. In the background, we had Jay Scheidel and Shadowed Flame pushing the 1s and 2s, keeping us honest in the commentary booth also. So, we appreciate them. You, the fans out there, thank you. Thank you very much for coming out here and talking with us, keeping us entertained, helping out our trackers and stuff like that. You guys have been very important. Keep coming back. We're going to keep trying to give you a great show. And with that, we're going to get out of here. So have a great night. Keep safe. And hopefully 2020 will get better. Have a good night.